Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's the trade of the day, Friday afternoon Zoom edition. All the news is still bad pretty much since our last Zoom on Monday. We've had some recovery. Bitcoin dropped into the 20s, bounced back up to 22, touched 23 later in the week. Then it's back to 20 and change right now. Let's go to the chart, see if we can chart a course for this. Okay, you folks should be seeing my Bitcoin weekly chart. Okay, I don't hear to the contrary, so I'll move forward. I drew this yellow line down here at 20,300 where we touched earlier in the week. And then I put on the, I never remember what this thing is called. It's a VRVP value something. Visible range volume profile. For those of you in CryptNation, if you're familiar with Bryce's charts, he likes this a lot. Craig from our group uses it too. So I don't use it that much in my trading. I think volume is sort of, obviously we have this volume down here, which I tend to rely on more, and also volume I think is reflected in the price to some degree. But as you can see, we don't have a lot of volume in this 20,000 range. I mean, we have like the psychological value that, oh, it can't drop below 20, so I'll buy here, which is what a lot of the whales would be thinking, one would assume. We do have quite a bit of volume here in the past, around 19, between about 18 and 19, and then it drops quite a bit. And then we have another volume spike here at about 13,000. So wouldn't surprise me if Bitcoin dropped a little bit over the weekend into the 19 range and then bounced back. We're hoping this range holds here around 20,000, but hey, I was saying the same thing about this range here up at 30,000 just a couple of weeks ago. So we don't know where it's going, but anyway, most of the news is not good. I found a little bit of good news. This one here. Barry Silbert says he's buying Bitcoin. So CEO of Digital Currency Group is buying it, likes the price. And at the $20,000 range. He also mentioned the fear and greed index at a value of 7, which I've never seen before. So I brought it up here. So my iCoin Pro. Yeah, extreme fear 7. The lowest I've seen was 8, and that was a couple of weeks ago. During the COVID drop, it got down in March of 2020 in the teens, but didn't drop as low as it is now. So the confidence in our beloved Bitcoin is very low. As a contrarian trader, this is usually where I like to get in. I'm more of a day trader and swing trader than a hodler, but if I had more funds, I'd probably be buying now. But I bought when the last time we got a low fear and greed index around 10. My positions are pretty much cut by a third. So I'm not the best example or guide for hodling, but for those of you who like to do it, now could be a good time to get in, not financial advice. So that's what I see for Bitcoin. Quick look at Ethereum. I'm on the 4-hour chart, and I drew a similar line here right at 1,050. Did dip below this briefly on the 15th, bounced back. $1,000 has been holding, as is 20,000 for Bitcoin. So again, we hope these are these ranges hold up, at least for the short term. Ethereum took a bigger beating than Bitcoin has since about in the last month. It's down 50%, where Bitcoin in the last month, not so much. So where was Bitcoin in the last month? Let's go to the day chart. Yeah, 35%. So maybe it's about the same. So what do we do? How do we trade this mess? Well, one approach is to not trade it at all. And that would be a reasonable approach. But there are, actually, I've tried to trade this today, and it's just mostly sideways crap. There's just no other way to say it. That's why I've been rethinking whether I want to keep doing this on Friday afternoons when the market's generally pretty slow anyway. I originally chose this time slot because CryptNation was using it for their Altcoin Alert coaching call, and then they moved it over to Tuesday. And so I slipped in thinking this would be a good time because people were used to it. But that was over a year ago. So anyway, if you guys want to email me and tell me if there's another late time in the week you'd rather do this, I'd probably even be open to Saturday morning. Yeah, it'd probably have to be either Thursday night or Saturday morning. But I digress. Let's look at Altcoin Alert, see if we can find some trades. Okay. On Altcoin Alert, I have the altcoin radar set up at the moment. I don't care for the dashboard. It's not enough information. I want all the columns available. Okay, Robert says Thursday night. You know what? I forgot to elicit responses from my attendees about Bitcoin and Ethereum. I just jumped right into Altcoin Alert. So you guys have anything about Bitcoin, Ethereum, or the market overall that you want to discuss before we move into Altcoin Alert? All right, well, I guess I was on the money on that one. So Altcoin Alert, Altcoin Radar. First thing I do is go for the AA score, try to find a high one. This just popped up. We have an AA score over 80. And quick review, it means there's an 81.1% chance that GALA will increase 3% the next 48 to 72 hours based on prior data. So that's worth checking out. We haven't had many very bullish AA scores in the last couple of weeks. So let's go to GALA. I like to start with a day chart to get the big picture. And most of them look like this: a big move sometime last year, big drop off, 90%. Most of the charts are going to look like this. And I look at the 1 hour to see the recent trend. We're down quite a bit. June 6th, we were up to almost over 9 cents. Now we're down to 5.7. So can we find a trade now? Oh, quick review. I've switched over from my sort of contrarian approach, buying the dips, to a trend-based approach based on the market. So when the market's already at a bottom, the fear can be that it can go, if it breaks through the bottom, it can go down quite a bit, and then you'd be stuck in a long and either getting stopped out or in a bad ladder buy situation. So with that in mind, I want to catch a trend. I want to see an established trend before I try to do a long position. And by long, I mean I want the asset to go up, and that's how we do most of our spot trading on Coinbase Pro and KuCoin and Kraken and places like that. We'll talk about leverage in a minute. All right, on the 5-minute chart, I'm not really seeing anything very interesting. I don't see a dip trade. I don't see a the trend trade. A buy just went off on the 5-minute, but it's right here in the middle of the Bollinger Bands. It's not where I want to buy. And only got 2% between the top and the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, which we call squeezy. Doesn't give it much room to move. Rather see a bubble like this That's usually more indicative of better momentum and volume. So then I go to the higher time frames, 15-minute, but it looks really choppy here. 30-minute. Did have a nice buy signal here on the chandelier exit, confirmed by the Bjorkum superscript here, and RSI. It's above the moving average on the RSI. We do have red in the VAP, which is a volume indicator, but the MFI is trending up. I'm looking for 3 out of 4 of these to agree with me. So I've got blue here on a buy, that's good. RSI pumping up above the line, that's good. Volume in the red, but coming up. So that's sort of, in the middle, neutral, and MFI trending up well. So, that would be something I would have been interested in on the 15th at 4 in the morning. Does go down at first, but then makes a nice move up, 13%. I probably would have gotten out around here where I see some resistance, 5% in 7 hours. That's a good day trade. But regrettably, we don't have that scenario before us. We've got a buy signal here from midnight Pacific time. It's gone down a little bit and come back. We're at a small loss had we taken that one. So what I'd be looking for on this is I would right click on my chandelier exit, go with a buy signal once per bar close, and AA 81.2. I like to put the AA score in there. I think that's what it was. And that would be my alert. I suggest going in small. We have the weekend coming up, which usually means lower volume and lower prices. Be ready to do a ladder buy, which is another purchase at the same or higher amount if the trade goes against you. Usually you can dollar cost average into a profit in that situation. And if you want to, we'll look at shorts a little bit later. Okay, I got a comment in the chat. Okay, Linnell and Robert are in agreement that I should move to Thursday night. Thinking about it. If I do that, it'd probably be later, like between 6 and 7 Pacific time. So a bit later for you folks in Central and Eastern time zones. Okay, any questions on GALA? All right. Let's go back to Altcoin Alert, see if we can find anything else. So that's about it for the very bullish. There's other sorts I like to use. I like to sort by long-term sentiment and match it up with Elder Impulse Daily, but I haven't been able, this one has not been useful in the last few weeks due to market conditions because there's just none matching. There's very few Elder Impulse Dailies that are bullish. There's only these 3. Eternity is something I looked at earlier. It's up 3.46%, but not much volume on this one. Got the chart up, so we'll check it out anyway. This is a Gate.io chart. I hear mixed reviews about this exchange, so if you're interested in this, take caution. On the day chart, again, it's big move. Looks like it was in November, down 65%. Not as much as some of the others we've looked at, so that's a little bit interesting. On the 1 hour, it's had a nice move in the last week, 4 days actually. Went up 40%, lost about half, recovered some of that. 5-minute chart. Yeah, when you see these horizontal lines on the charts, that's usually a sign of no trade. That's a low volume. So that's not something I would probably trade on a day trade. I might, if I wanted to buy and hold this, I might do it, but Okay, not seeing anything in the entries I like here. So let's see if I can find something better on the 15-minute. Mostly choppy on the buys. Some decent move there, but taking that one, 1.4% out of the top of the Bollinger Band. Probably not interested. The buys here aren't doing much. Let's go to the 30-minute. That looks worse. Hour. Hour's a little better. Like this one here would have been pretty good. 3 a.m. on the 14th. Got the, we don't get the blue wave till about here. And then everything else matches up. So yeah, it's a nice move, 11%. I probably wouldn't have held it that long. Maybe gone to the top of the Bollinger Band. And these are, people ask me a lot, where do I get out? So what I'm looking for is a retracement to a prior area, or like a top of the Bollinger Band, or if I'm below the Bollinger Band, the SMA line. Those are some of my favorite exit points on day trades. Okay, so this one would be like the GALA trade I just showed you a minute ago. Right click on the chandelier exit. Oh, that's right. Go with the buy. And what was my sort? Forgot which sort I used. Elder Impulse Daily. That's the one. Elder Impulse sort and wait till it goes off. If I just miss one, I will frequently let it retrace and then get the next one. I think that frequently works out better than getting in late. And this alert went off, actually at 1 p.m. So over 2 hours ago. So we're a bit late for that one. Any questions on Eternity, the trade? Okay. And then the other sort, you can also do these on the smaller time frames. You could do a short-term sentiment sort. Or actually, you can do a long-term sentiment sort and then match it up. Instead of the Elder Impulse Daily, the Elder Impulse Hourly. You've got one of those here, a Parsec, whatever that is. Zap, Track, Quant. That's a coin I like, actually. Monero. I was looking at that one earlier. That's one I trade sometimes. Let's check that one out. XMR. This one's had a big drop. This was over, it's over $500 last year. Yeah, May of last year. This is a privacy coin. They're crazy volatile sometimes. Down 78% in a little over a year. Let's see, we've had a nice move in the spring, but gave up most of that. Yeah, on the hour. Pretty big drop from the 9th to now. I mean, got as low as 45% on the 5-minute. It's got some pretty good action though. Sell just printed on the 5-minute. Let's go to the 15. The last buy signal. Small profit. This one did well. This one did not. nor did this one. So if you stayed in, you would have caught this rise. So 15's not bad. 30 might be the way to go. All the 30 buy signals have looked pretty good. Yeah, 5% there. 3.5 there. 2.25 there. But our last buy signal on the hour went off at 1 p.m. Pacific. So again, I think if you want to do this one, I would do this one over eternity, the one we just looked at, due to the volume. This Monero has good volume. And you set your alert on the chandelier exit like I showed you on the other two. So I'm not going to go through that again. So that's any questions on Monero? All right, the other sort we like to do, my buddy Robert suggests this, is look for coins that have been beaten down on the 24-hour change. Or good friend Luna is showing up here consistently. BNT, and there's two ways you can go with this. Well, you could go both or choose one. You can either reach the conclusion that these have been beaten down quite a bit and they're due for recovery, sort of the contrarian dip trade that I actually prefer, or look at it as a shorting opportunity if you trade leverage. So let's look at, I don't know if BNT is on an exchange that can be shorted. I know Arweave is. Let's look at Arweave. Okay, so on the day, yeah, it had its big move back in November, like so many of them have. Down 90%. On the hour chart, since the beginning of the month, about the last 9-10 days, down 45%. This one's really taking a beating. The 5-minute chart, looks like we just missed a dip trade. Yeah, for the 1, 2, 3 dip strategy, this is an example of that, where we have the squeeze here and then it bubbles out. Get 1, 2, 3, green candle and in. So usually like to get up to the SMA line, but that would not have worked. Could have gotten out here with 0.9% profit. You know, not terrible for a day trade in this market. But then it drops again. And, you know, you might be stuck in this one. That's how we would do, you know, a dip trade, but we're mostly trend trading now. At least I am. So just taking this buy, pretty similar to what I just showed you, small profit, then a drop. So that would have not have worked out very well. It's one of the reasons I don't like to use the chandelier exit on a time frame this small. So 15 is the smallest I use this indicator. And yeah, our buys are not doing that well. Yeah, that one's not bad, but so 15, let's go to 30. 30s aren't doing that well either on the buy side. So the hour, last buy signal was a couple days ago. That didn't make a nice move. Yeah, that's at the top of the Bollinger Band is 13%, 10 hours. That's a really good day trade. I probably would have gotten out around here, where this resistance is. So, almost 10%, it's really good. So if I wanted to go long on this one, that's what I would do. I would go to the hour chart and set a buy signal or set an alert on the chandelier exit for a buy. If I want to go short on this, so we think it's going to keep going down, I might probably go to a smaller time frame. The sell signal is excellent here from this morning. We're down, it's 7% profit in 13 hours. I like that as a day trader. Maybe take profit halfway down at the bottom of the Bollinger Band here, 2%, put a stop loss in at entry. So you have a risk-free trade and let it ride until you get either another signal or, there's some support here, 7.9%. Might have just missed it or hit it right about here. So this is one you can go either way, or you go both ways. You can set an alert on the buy like I've showed you already. You can also do it on the sell. Trading leverage, sell, once per bar close. And is that the Elder Impulse again? No, that was the 24-hour. I'll give Robert credit here, so his idea. Okay, well, that's how I would approach that one. We're right at about a half an hour. So any questions about Altcoin Alert or any coins you want to look at? Anything you want to talk about before we wrap it up today? Wow, no participation. You guys are really quiet. Of course, I have a lot of new people on, so I guess that's to be expected. Okay. Hey, Andre's here.
Hey, I just hopped on. I finally got home.
Okay, good to have you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Well, if there's no questions, I'll go ahead and wrap up the Altcoin Alert show here. For those of you watching on the recording, I appreciate you too. Please check out the opportunities in the comments on the recording. And for those of you still here, feel free to stick around for the carbon portion. That'll be coming up in a few minutes. Have a good weekend.